It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. Shaq's here. Kenny's here. Welcome to this edition of 2K Sports. Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Cavaliers in Cleveland. Checking out Cleveland. Coming into tonight, a couple of goals they have. Stay aggressive on both ends, but also play with efficiency. It's a delicate balance, but they know it's the key to playing their best ball. And we get to see Paul George tonight. Tremendous all-around player, but Shaq, if you were in George's shoes, what's the one area you might try to improve on?
I think he can get to the line more often because he's a great free throw shooter, and you want to make the most of that, Ernie.
You know what? He's a great playmaker, and he was exceptional before he got to Oklahoma City and before he got injured. So now he's going to just continue that. He's learning to reinvent himself in a different way.
It's time to tip this game off.
Let's tip it off.
Let's go to Kevin Harlan, and let's tip it off.
If it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it can only mean one thing. Welcome to Cleveland, Ohio. It's a road game for the Thunder, and they're facing an interconference matchup in today's game. It's Wednesday Night Basketball, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. From the sideline, we'll have David Aldridge. We'll be hearing from him in just a moment. And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Well, guys, for decades we have seen elite big men dominate in the paint, but with more and more threes, they now have to cover a lot more ground defensively. So a few executives think the center position may undergo some downsizing in the years to come. Kevin?
Foot speed at a premium. David, as always, thank you. Well, you knew it wouldn't last forever, couldn't last forever. LeBron's departure in the offseason, a huge blow to this Cleveland franchise.
And it's going to be talk and speculation as to why LeBron James left again. And that's going to continue all season long. But ultimately, the team, the city, they need to regroup. They need to reset. They need to think about their future. And they did a good job of gathering assets and some youth in the departure of LeBron James. But, man, that's a hole they're never going to fill, Kevin.
And so off the tip, it's Oklahoma City. Now the opening lineup for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Westbrook and Robertson, the backcourt. The forwards, George and Grant. And it's Adams in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now here's Love. Shot clock at 5. Down low, Thompson. That's in there. Love with the assist. Thompson's got the opening bucket of the night here for the Cavs. Grant outside. Now the pass to George. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Think back to when Paul George entered the league in the 2010-11 season for the Indiana Pacers, a skinny kid. Not so much anymore.
Now here's Sexton. Back tonight. Thompson up top. Here's Sexton, and the jumper is good. Sexton's got his first points of the game. 51 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Robertson. On the wing, George. True on the 14-footer. George has got his second bucket.
That's a nice play by Paul George, showing a nice touch from the mid-range.
Sexton kicks to Osman. Passes it to Sexton. And it's Love, top of the key. Here's Osman. He's covered by Grant.
Well, Grant's got some verts. I mean, it's all out there, especially effective on getting to the shooters and making an impact.
Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting calls, and for good reason.
This is also one of those things where you start to think about how you're going to change your defense already. If at all possible, make someone else beat you.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Thunder lead by 3. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. The leadership of Russell Westbrook is so important to the team, and Steven Adams talked about what it means to him.
He's doing just an unbelievable job at just controlling the guys, controlling the game, making sure that everyone's feeling in the right mood to play and willing to sacrifice for one another.
You know, so much of leadership is that emotional component, motivating guys to give their all.
And Russ certainly leads by example with his competitive zeal, but he understands also he's got to bring his teammates with him.
And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And when you consider how the Thunder are doing, guys, what do you think?
So far, they've been active, scoring the basketball, built up a little lead here, and looking good.
Well, when you come out in the first quarter with that kind of offense, obviously the game plan is in full effect. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going.
They've got Matthew Dellavedova. Larry Nance out there with Zizic. Then there's Jordan Clarkson. And it's Stauskas in at the 3. So that's who's on the floor for the Cavaliers. Cleveland moving it around. Nance passes to Zizic. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
Pass to Schroeder. 46 seconds left now here in the second. Off the mark from 16 feet out. Out to the right wing. Here's Stauskas, defended by George. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. We've heard some executives suggest the Thunder might look to trade Russell Westbrook and hit the reset button. Brent, you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm not sure of when that time or if that time is now. You got to remember where they are, OKC and the market and what Russell Westbrook has meant to the fan base. Remember, initially, the last drafted Seattle Supersonic in NBA history before starting his career in Oklahoma City. So when that window closes, I don't know. They've made the long-term commitment to Russell Westbrook and maybe want to see this thing through.
Free throw good, Stauskas. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Chris, he's checked in for Ante Zizic. Kevin Love comes in for Larry Nance. Jetty Osman, he's checked in for Clarkson. And it's Sexton in for Matthew Dellavedova. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Nerlens Noel. Grant comes in for Markieff Morris. Russell Westbrook in for Terrence Ferguson. Lance Felton in for Dennis Schroeder.
How many chapters last year were there to the Cavs season? A lot of player movement, a lot of drama in the locker room, and obviously trying to find their way back to the NBA Finals, which they eventually did. So would we say a successful year overall? Probably, but a little mismatched.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Here's Sexton. Love right side. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
And they make sure to get the last shot of the quarter there. Nicely done.
And good awareness there to beat the clock. Now they have a break in the action to discuss some other things.
And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Cavaliers on top. They lead by 1. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Diesel and the Jet. Welcome to the halftime show on 2K Sports. The first quarter for the Cavaliers was fairly even. They kept at it on both ends of the floor, and at the end of the period, they had a slight deficit of 3 points. They battled hard in the second quarter, and it was reflected on the scoreboard. Kenny, your thoughts? How are the Cavaliers playing?
Well, I think to shoot a high percentage, your offense has to be in sync. And in the first half, those guys were sharing the basketball, playing for each other. Now it becomes a matter of being consistent at it.
And now, Shaq, let's get your opinion on Oklahoma City.
This second half is gut check time for the defense. Allowing over 60% shooting is weak sauce. Weak barbecue sauce, weak Butterfinger sauce, weak sauce, period. The coach needs a light fire under these guys. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it, Ernie.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Without question, George displaying his skills today.
And I love the game plan in that first half. They really valued each possession.
Efficient so far with the shots that he's taken. His contributions have been fantastic.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet.
The Thunder, one of the lowest rates of assists in the league last year. Also, a team that does not move the ball around all that much to gain some advantage with strong side, weak side movement. So we'll see isolation, we'll see pick and roll, and very few passes in a contest like this.
And on the floor for Billy Donovan as we get into the second half. The forwards, George and Grant. Westbrook and Robertson, the backcourt. And it's Adams in at the 5. Home in the paint. Here's Osman. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Osman's got the lead up to 2 now for the Cavs. And the Thunder had great talent, but their offense hasn't allowed all their players, Brent, to flourish at the same time. Why is that?
Well, it's just a team that doesn't have a commitment to a flow style of offense. They have such great talent that I think the talent tries to take on the load sooner in offensive possessions than maybe the coaching staff would like, and they have great individual scores. That's what these guys have done in the league for a very long time.
And so Westbrook will bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Grant, that's good.
Well, Westbrook draws so much attention, so takes advantage there, finds a teammate.
Now, here's Sexton. He's covered by Grant. And here's Sexton over Westbrook. That one off the back iron and out. And the pass to Robertson. Outside, George. Lets it go with a 3. They get it again. Right side, Westbrook. No good on the last second attempt there. Third quarter comes to a close, and a battle brings it to a tie. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway. Let's take a listen to a recent huddle from Coach Billy Donovan.
Hold your ground. Don't let him back your way in. Just hold your ground. The other thing, too, is once he picks the ball up, he's not going to shoot it. If he does, just stay down on him.
I like the way the Donovan's conveying that scouting report to his guys.
I mean, knowing how your opponent plays is important, and I think he's on point on this one.
Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. They've got Marquise Chris. Jordan Clarkson is out there with Sexton. And it's Nance. And it's Osman in at the small forward position. So that's who's on the floor for the Cavaliers. Clarkson kicks to Osman. The feed to Sexton. Makes it off the glass. Sexton's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Cavs. Oklahoma City trailing. Westbrook feeling it out a bit. Felton finds Westbrook. Shoots over Clarkson. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
Nice to see Westbrook rise up and knock that one down. When he has that solid base, it looks good.
Now here's Sexton. Guarded closer. Knocked loose. And here we go with Westbrook heading to the hoop. And finished off by Westbrook.
Oh, that is the play of the game.
Nothing more rewarding than hitting the big shot for your team.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. They're down by 2. 52 seconds left to play in the final quarter. chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
Thompson, he's checked in for the Cavaliers. Kevin Love comes in for Chris. He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what the Cavaliers head coach was saying to his team. He told them, hey, guys, this is a close game, but if we execute right here, I like our chances. There's no need for hero ball. Trust one another. Make the simple play. Kevin, back to you.
And here's Westbrook from the arc. Cavaliers with the rebound. Pass to Sexton. Over Grant. Good!
Yeah, it goes, but that's just not smart basketball. Right now, you need to massage the clock a little bit more. That shot came way too early.
Right side Westbrook. Back to Robertson. Outside Westbrook. 6 to shoot. George with no one around. Love grabs the board.
And you know they wanted that one to go down.
Man, that's just tough because that would have tied up the score. That's a tough one to swallow here in the fourth.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
And that's one of those guys who just tends to live at the line. Sexton's working hard to improve his consistency there.
And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game.
And that's curtains for him. Some really good work at the charity stripe to close this one out.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They're behind by 4. We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's George. For 3, Westbrook. Yes! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
It's a certain mindset, Kevin, right now to want the ball at the end of games, and Westbrook has it.
He drops the first one, and that will put them up by 2. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 3-point game.
Huge free throws, bumps the lead up to 3, and now they simply have to guard against the 3 ball.
And a chance here to send it to overtime.
Got to get a 3. That's the only thing that's going to do it.
And so it's Cleveland who comes out on top here. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
I mean, these are those games that feel so great to win, and really, it's like a knife in the gut to lose. You got to love being on edge of your seat and just wondering what's going to happen. How is this thing going to play out?
For Brent Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long.